Hey, Truth Seekers, welcome back. Zach here. In this post, I want to talk about headlines from the past weekend as well as today, Monday. It is April 13th, 2015. And I want to begin with this Obama quote from Saturday, April 11th, the date Obama had relations with Raul Castro of Cuba, turning a page in history. But let's check this out right here. Obama's remarks from this same day on the nuclear deal and how he feels Israel is responding to it. And he uses this word hobgoblin, which if you haven't heard this yet, I want you to check it out and then we'll talk about it. It is quite relevant.
Keep in mind that when we started this process off, even with the interim agreement, when we signed the JPOA, way back at the beginning of this whole thing, there was a similar back and forth in terms of interpretation of how this was going to be implemented. You know, the Iranians were saying that's not true, and we were saying this. But once we actually got through the negotiations, it turned out that we had something that was substantial, that was subject to review by everybody involved, and that has proven to be highly effective, even by the assessments of critics of the policy like the Israelis. They've said, yeah, this actually has worked. Iran's abided by the agreement. In fact, now they're suggesting, why don't we just stay here? It's worked so well. Despite the fact that they've made almost the precise same argument with Reagan now about the final deal. But, you know, consistency is the hobgoblin of narrow minds.
Consistency is the hobgoblin of narrow minds. You know, we all say that one, you know. So I wanted to look up this word hobgoblin in Obama, because the gematria of it is why I think he used it. But just in their history, I wanted to look up if it's ever come up before. Back in 2010 at a beer summit, David Cameron and Barack Obama exchanged their favorite beers. Barack Obama gave something from Chicago. David Cameron gave him a bottle of Hobgoblin. So, what's up with Hobgoblin? First of all, if you're wondering what a hobgoblin is, it's essentially the same as a goblin. It's from folklore. It's a creature that lives under a bridge and causes problems for humanity. I think the key words being problems for humanity. Problems for problems for humanity are directly a part of our narrow-mindedness as a society at this day and age. Consistency is the problem for society of narrow minds. It's exactly hard to put the puzzle together, but when you look at the gematria of Hobgoblin, it all starts to make sense. In simple English gematria, Hobgoblin sums to 84. In Jewish gematria, Obama sums to 84. His birthday is August 4th, 8-4. 8th month, 4th day. United States of America with Pythagorean gematria sums to 84. Lawyer sums to 84. He's said to be a constitutional lawyer. And this quote came on April 11th. The word in Jewish gematria, assassin, sums to 411. JFK was once shot from 411 Elm Street. Obama was first elected on November 4th. In some places, this date is written this way. And once upon a time, Abraham Lincoln was assassinated and died 4/15/65. 4 plus 15 is 19, plus 65 more is 84 when you add those three numbers together. And where's Abraham Lincoln from? He's from Illinois, like where Obama was senator before becoming president. So this word hobgoblin, I think, is more foreshadowing, more coded gematria. Remember, the quote is, consistency is the hobgoblin of narrow minds. And the word consistency, which begins that quote, also has the Pythagorean gematria of 47, like the word president. So, if you had any questions about hobgoblin, you probably still have some, but hopefully it makes a little bit more sense after seeing this. This is why I like gematria so much, because I think it reveals so much, such as this. Numerology gematria, who knew? I didn't know before I started researching it. So another story from recent. Tulsa deputy shot a man when he meant to taser him, supposedly. I wanted to see what his name was. Of course, police, the word has the Pythagorean gematria of 33, like we find in all these shooting hoaxes. So does the gematria of the name Robert. The man who did this is named Robert Bates. Bates has a gematria of 11, so Robert Bates sums to 44, like the word officer, like the word sheriff, like the word kill. Military also equals 44. Robert Bates. And they give us this picture of the man smiling while telling us that he's going to be charged for murder. Just think about the psychological programming on a base level here. If this was a story about a black man killing a white man, they'd probably show you a menacing grin shot. You know what I mean? There's just so much psychological warfare in our media. It's how the drone masses have become as programmed as they are. Somehow they're susceptible to all this. They don't see through it. The attorney for this matter, for the police and Robert, is Stephen A. Koonsweiler. Stephen with the 33 spelling. Put the Stephen A. Koonsweiler together and you get the gematria of 88. Another thing we find common, especially with lawyers in these stories as we decode them. If you took the time to go through the stories and how many things I've decoded, you would see so often that the lawyers representing this police have the 88 gematria. It tells me there's another component to this. This isn't the first time I've seen this, nor for my viewers who watch the majority of my videos. So the location was Tulsa, Oklahoma. Tulsa has the gematria of tandem with the S exception 19, Oklahoma 31. This generates the gematria of 41 and 50. USA is 41. There are 50 states. In other words, a shooting hoax for the nation, I think. That's the message within their coding. The victim is Eric Courtney Harris. Has Pythagorean gematria of 103 and 112, both numbers that reduce to 4, related to 44 with regards to this whole death thing. Also from this weekend, there's the story of a suicide. Robert Bishop, a 47-year-old, is the chief witness in all the media sources that reported. Robert, again, a 33 name. Bishop is also a 33 name. With the S exception, it becomes 42. And he's 47 years old. The numbers we find coded together in so many of these stories, 33, 47. They can't help themselves. Reminds me of the Super Bowl in this case, because Robert plus Bishop's 66. The first Super Bowl was in the 47th season, the year 66. Not a coincidence. Another witness in the story is Melanie Ross. Curious spelling of Melanie with this gematria. Melanie's 27, a number often associated with death. Ross is 17. What kill is with Pythagorean gematria. Put it together, 27 plus 17 is 44. She's said to be of Alexandria, Virginia. Alexandria is a 44 word. Obama's the 44th president. Continuous coding of numbers and stories. And then the police chief who spoke on this is Kim Dine. Kim with the 33 gematria. This is a man, by the way, Truth Seeker. I don't know if I've ever seen a male Kim before, but this guy is. This is a man. Police Chief Kim Dine. Kim 33, Dine 32, the American number. Police Chief Kim Dine sends to 156, like God in English gematria, which is interesting. Remember, the movie Truman Show was released on the 156th day of the year? The name Truman Burbank equals 156, and that movie's about playing God. Kimberly Schneider was another police mentioned in the story, another Kim, the full name of Kim. This one a female. Her name gematria, curious. 41 like USA, 49. Another number connected to a lot of these shootings, the number of revelation. This story is from this morning. A story of a 1-year-old shot by a 3-year-old. We've gotten a few of these in the last calendar year as the subheadlines for just more and more shootings in the media, reported by the mainstream media. It happened in Cleveland, 33 location. The 1-year-old baby who shot was named Braylon, a 33 name. Right away, for football fans, it might remind you of Braylon Edwards, who played his college ball at Michigan and was drafted by Cleveland. Braylon Robinson forms the significant gematria of 76, which we often see coded. Both of these, 7 plus 6 is 13, 1 plus 3 is 4, 8 plus 5 is 13, 1 plus 3 is 4. Again, that number 4 often associated with death. Braylon Robinson. 3-year-old shot by a 1-year-old, supposedly. Were torn apart. Family grieves baby shot by 3-year-old. You know, and what's sick to think about is our media is likely just falsely generating these stories just to continue feeding us the lies and propaganda. Look at how big daily shootings have become in this nation for the reporting. It's become a major part of our media reporting, shooting stories. From this morning, also an active shooter at North Carolina College. Seeing a lot about North Carolina lately. The town that the shooting happened in is Goldsboro, North Carolina. Goldsboro's 44, North Carolina's 67. That flip of the number 76. 111. Shooting happened at Wayne Community College, WCC. And the main spokesperson is Scott Stevens, SS. I just did a video on the Laval Hall shooting. If you haven't seen that, it's footage of an officer shooting at somebody supposedly off camera, killing them. Their name gematria is very curious. Both 33 names, first and last. With simple English gematria, sums to 93. The location of Miami Gardens is 113. This fits the pattern of the Bernardino shooting, the Tulsa shooting, the South Carolina shooting, the Michael Brown shooting, the Columbine shooting, the Sandy Hook shooting, and every other shooting I forgot to just mention. The other 50 I forgot are all covered somewhere on this video blog. True Seeker, if you wonder, I do get tired of making these videos, honestly. I mean, it's tiring. I'm doing this in hopes that the message will get out. I think the message is getting out better than the view counts show because it doesn't make sense that my videos would get less views than when I had no subscribers. So, I think the message is getting out there. That's why I do this. We have to wake up to the hoax that's upon us. And if people can see it, plus this numeric code, more power to them. I think it will help with the awakening. This morning when I was watching CNN, they went to commercials after reporting on the shooting hoax in North Carolina. And there was this commercial for this guy for the New York Stock Exchange. His name was Randy Garudi. You know, talking up, just a bunch of selling the American dream. And I said, look at this scumbag. You could just tell he's a paid liar. And then I just did his name gematria real quick and I laughed. I was like, oh, of course. Another 33 name. I mean, when you have the television on, True Seeker, commercials, news, sitcoms, even your radio too. It's not just the television. The television's an evolution of radio. But when you have it on, you are bearing witness to their agents and their propaganda, which comes in all forms. I call the television the lie box. Programming people with lies. Look at this guy's name gematria. Randy Garudi. Selling the American dream. American lies. Telling people to invest in the market. A big giant Ponzi scheme. That is nothing but a manipulation at the end of the day. People are reading their magazines and thinking they're making wise decisions. They're just reading the false narrative better than others. Also, these headlines of Yazidi women and Yazidi families, they've been in the media for months now. I just want to point out that Yazidi is one of these 74 words. 33, 47, 74. Numbers they cannot stay away from as well as others. But those three are just, our media is obsessed. And if you watch my video, it goes a lot deeper than the media as well. I'm just usually ranting about the media because it's what programs the masses. It's what people have to wake up to. Also from this weekend, there were some presidential announcements. Marco Rubio and Hillary Clinton. We knew about Hillary. Marco Rubio wasn't as big a headlines. But look, Just like Hillary, just like all the politicians, he's got the numbers. He's born May 28th, 1971, a date with 33 numerology. His name gematria is 52, which is interesting, a number to watch out for right now. It was out of Super Bowl 49 that I said to watch out for the numbers 52 and 144 this year. And the initials MR break down to 4 and 9. Just another curiosity there. His tagline is A New American Century, which reminds me of the project A New American Century, who wrote about how the United States needed a new Pearl Harbor in the years before 9/11, and then we got September 11th on New Year's Day on the Coptic calendar. Yes, you heard that right. If you did not know, on the Old World calendar, the Coptic calendar, September 11th is New Year's Day. And something called the Project for a New American Century said we needed a new Pearl Harbor for a new American century. And then all the people who wrote that document went on to be the administration of George W. Bush. And a lot of them are still parts of Barack Hussein Obama, a continuation of the Bush administration, just as I said it would be from the day he announced his presidency. And only sheep can't see. And the reason so many can't see is because so many are sheep. But check this out, Truth Seeker. A New American Century sums to 87, just like Clinton with simple English gematria. This might end up being, who knows, this might end up being the Republican candidate versus Hillary Clinton in the end. And if it is, I guarantee you Hillary will be stomping all over this guy. Hillary launched Sunday, April 12th, a date with 31 numerology, like the foundational degree of Scottish Rite Freemasonry. Clinton's a 33 name. She gets it from her husband, who was born Bill Blythe. His father was murdered on a date with 33 and 87 numerology, just like the gematria of Clinton. Clinton is 33 Pythagorean, 87 simple English. His father was murdered on a day with 3387 numerology, probably by the Clinton family that traced back to the original governors of New York. Possibly one of these families that now governs from the shadows. I'm ready for Hillary. I'm surprised they didn't write out I am. But it's all for good reason, I'm sure. If you want to do some homework, you can do the gematria of this and let me know what it is. I have not done it yet. And if you turn on CNN right now, I bet you who's ever talking on TV, as soon as the commercials are over, will have a 33 name. Just like this guy who's been on all morning talking about Hillary and the path to success. Jeff Zellini. Look at this name. Zellini. Doesn't it just sound like a funny name? 33 gematria. If you pay attention to the names in the media, so often the names are bizarre. The facial expressions are bizarre. I'm not saying this one is, but I'm just saying the people on TV are. They're different. They speak funny. They have funny names. And they say misleading things that sheepish masses swallow up and accept for truth. When it's clear as day, it's a lie. We got to wake up. That pretty much covers the main headlines. The only thing I didn't have up here was Obama meeting with Raul Castro. Castro is part of the Tupamaro movement out of out of Uruguay. Uruguay was once established in history by a movement called the 33 Orientals. Back in that time, the Rockefellers had world business and named a lot of their companies Oriental. So the 33 Orientals established Uruguay. Uruguay is the only country in South America with a 33 gematria, and Tupamaro equals 33. As I just said, Che Guevara, Fidel Castro, they came out of this movement. Just like Hugo Chavez and all these other socialist puppets in South America. These people are phonies. All the liberals who like the rhetoric they say, I get it. The rhetoric a lot of times is on point, but it's phony baloney. This is the Gang of 33. They rule by lies and deceit. They own all wings of it, left and right. We got to wake up, Truth Seeker. Until next time.